nigga like me, man, I love the game. I love the hustle, man. I be feeling like one of them ball-playing niggas, you know? Like Bird or Magic or something. Yeah, you know, a nigga got dough. A nigga could leave the league. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man? I get love out here in Harlem, man. I done sold coke on these streets, man. Hash, weed, heroin. As long as niggas is feeling it, a nigga like me can hustle it. That's my gift in life, eh? You know? What? The fuck you laughing at, B?
You, man. Funny, man. You a hustling motherfucker, man. For real, baby. You fucking killing me, man.
Well, you know me, baby.
Hey y'all, what's up? Sub-Zero 3639, cleaning up a little bit. Thought I'd drop a little video of something I had on my mind. A lot of people right now are going in on Bob Johnson, you know, the founder of BET. You know, for those of you guys that don't know, Bob Johnson is the founder of BET. Any black man that made it to the top, especially made it to the top by creating an ecosystem or feeding off the ecosystem of his own community, has my respect. Period. Any black man that does that. And I know I'm not the oldest guy on YouTube. I know I'm not what's the word? I know I'm not a thesaurus, not thesaurus, encyclopedia of, you know, history as to what took place at BET or what BET was, but I know enough just from my own childhood because I lived on the TV just like everybody did back in the 80s and 90s, right? So let me explain something. The reason I respect Bob Johnson is not just because he's the founder of BET, but I remember the type of programming that BET had when it first came out. I remember BET was this great place that you could go where you could see black music, black stars. They had a lot of different shows, and I'm gonna go into it in a minute, but I'm gonna go into why they hating on him, why they getting on to him. Okay, so first off, they getting on to Bob Johnson because he dared to say he don't really support none of the Democrats. He's not impressed with the field crop. He's not gonna, you know, be beholden to any one group, be it Republican or Democrat. He thinks that the economy is doing fine, but he does point out some issues with Trump that he thinks he says that he's not going to support anybody. And people are having a hissy fit because he dared to say, I'm not towing the line. And he was on Fox Business. I'm going to put it right here and let you guys see.
We are pleased to bring in our guest host this morning, RLJ Company's founder and chairman, BET founder, Bob Johnson, media visionary, private equity god. You're iconic. I don't know what you want to talk about today, but there's the economic backdrop. I want to get your viewpoint because you have so many businesses and how things are going. But I want to get your comments on the political environment as well and how it relates to the economic environment. How's business?
Business is very good. I believe that if you take into account the Trump tax cut, you take into account the drop in unemployment, and particularly unemployment for African Americans, the lowest it's ever been in history. And you take into account the fact that interest rates are fairly stable. No, they will probably drift up, but so far. And I think the business community is committed to reinvest capital that they get from some of the tax advantages, and that as a result of that, I think the economy is going to grow. It's not going to do 5, as I think Larry Kudlow suggested it could do 5, and Larry and I went to Princeton, the Woodrow Wilson School together. I was smarter than he was at the time. But I'm glad he's at the.
He's a TV guy.
I'm glad he's at the NEC. I'm gonna call him and tell him, welcome to DC. But when you put all of that together, I believe that the economy is on a strong growth path, and in particular in our businesses, car businesses is growing. We're about the 21st largest car dealership group in the country. People are still buying cars as interest rates are favorable. Hotels seem to be coming back. Business travelers are going back on airplanes and traveling and staying in hotels. That works for us. And there's still capital out there to raise in the private equity field. And so when you put all of that together, and particularly from my vantage point of the focus on urban markets and African American community, when you got about African Americans are down around 4 or 5, something like that, that's a pretty good testament to the fact that there are a lot of jobs out there looking for people who are traditionally underemployed. And that only comes when the economy is growing.
So it's been pointed out that the old mantra, it's the economy's stupid, usually things are going well, usually people are happy and feeling good, and the president's approval rating is up in the mid-50s or 60s because the economy's well. There's a disconnect right now.
Yeah.
And not only is it a disconnect, but there's 40 or 50% of the people in this country, when I read Twitter and stuff, they're not sure they're going to survive the year. That they look around and for some reason feel so threatened and feel so bad and feel so, it's like they don't know if democracy and society are even going to make it through 2018. Yeah. And that's all about personality with Trump, I think. Are they, when do they just look around and say, wow, African American unemployment is the lowest it's ever been. The jobs, that's 4%. GDP might be. When do you smell the coffee?
You're a little bit in that world of no good deed goes unpunished, and that's what's happening politically. Everything is so toxic that even if you do something good, the opposition party, the opposition interests, we're so divisive that no matter what the president would do or no matter what the Democrats would do, it's negative. And a lot of it is fueled by just this constant need.
Tribalism,
yeah, to go back and be a part of a small community, forget the idea we're all part of one country, we're all in this together. That's gone out the door. And so I've never seen the country more in a zero-sum game.
Do you watch cable TV, Bob? There are people that if Mueller doesn't succeed in finding collusion and getting this guy out of office, that the country's going to implode.
The feeling now is there's this deep state. I keep hearing this term, deep state. Basically, what people are saying, this country is controlled by the dark forces somewhere beneath the government, somewhere in elite think tanks, somewhere among the intelligentsia. Yep. And everybody is prepared to throw all that means to be an American out the window on behalf of their particular group, or as you said, tribe.
Probably.
And if you stay like that, then I think you will have fear, even though you got good numbers economically and people are.
You are on record saying that Trump offered you a cabinet position. It wasn't that long ago either, was it?
No, when I met him at Bedminster, he asked me for well, when he's president-elect, so what is that, about a year and a half?
About a year ago. He was talking about a certain cabinet position, and you didn't say no because it was Trump. You said no because you're not going into government.
I said no because I didn't want to work for the government.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know any. Well, guys, somebody's got to deliver the mail, and somebody's got to be at the post office to work for the government. But
you would otherwise work with Trump?
Huh?
You would otherwise do business with Trump?
Would I do business with him?
Would you do business with Trump?
Yeah, I would do business with him if it's focused on improving the economic climate and opportunity for African Americans. And that means putting more money into the pockets of African Americans. Yeah. And I proposed it when I met with him at Bedminster.
Right.
I proposed several agenda items that would go to the question of how do you improve the economic life of African Americans. And one of them that I really focused on, which I strongly believe in, there's a huge retirement crisis in this country. Yeah. And particularly for low-income wage workers. And one of the causes of that retirement crisis is the leakage in 401k accounts. People who have small dollar 401k accounts tend to cash out when they change jobs.
Right.
And when they cash out, of course, they pay taxes on the cash out.
Big hit.
And they lose the appreciation on the 401k account. We have a proposal, and it's something that the Trump administration has been supporting from the time I met with them at Bedminster, to have the Labor Department approve a regulation.
Andrew is you need to he is incredulous that you would work or normalize this president.
I'm not
what
working.
Were you going to say?
I'm not working for Trump. I'm working.
But working with him is just as bad.
Here's what I'm trying to understand is, as a businessman, I understand you. The question I was asking you was, would you do business with? Would he be your business partner? With the context that every bank, virtually every U.S. bank in this country, decided many years ago that they wanted to have nothing to do with him.
Would I do business with Trump on a deal?
On a deal as a business person, where you have to trust the other side, and he's going to actually fulfill the other side, and that you actually have money tied to each other. I'm asking you straight up: would you do a business transaction with this gentleman?
Depends on the deal.
President of the United States.
It depends on the deal. If I had control of the deal, yeah, I'd do business with him.
Okay.
Most of the business deals I do, I have control of it. So if I told him I wanted him to build me a hotel,
right,
and I had the controlling interest in the hotel, they're great hotel builders, and you take somebody who can do good hotel. Yeah, I do business with them. But it's like everything else. I would do
with this viewpoint, you can see how worried people are that this guy is president. Someone's so dishonest.
I'm surprised by some of the things that Bob's saying.
No, I know,
because I think.
But we are in dire straits, considering his business, the way he.
No, but I think that because it's been set up here in this very binary situation that you could look at the economy on one end, and then you're saying that there's other people in this country who are having these, what you might describe as snowflake feelings, and yet what you're not commenting on, and you haven't commented on, is the fact that there are hot emotions given many of the comments, the rhetoric of the president. He's smiling at him. You want to comment? How did you feel about Charlottesville? I mean, that's the reason why people feel the way they feel.
I understand.
Let me answer that. Let me answer that. When I met with the president-elect at the time, and I said, Mr. President, do not say to African Americans, what do you have to lose under a Trump administration? I said, Mr. President, if you want to speak to African Americans in a way that they will understand you and perhaps even support you, talk about what African Americans have to gain from a Trump administration. And in that meeting, he asked me to come up with some proposals that will address economic concerns of African Americans. And since that time, I've continued to do that, and I've had access to anyone in the Trump administration I want to meet. When I want to meet with Steve Mnuchin, I met with Mnuchin. When I want to meet with the top deputies at the Labor Department, I'm able to meet with them. When I go to Republicans, a good friend of mine, Senator Tim Scott from South Carolina, has taken the lead with me on this proposal to put more than $600 million back in the pockets for African Americans by reducing their likelihood of cash-out retirement.
What's the solution on the pension, on the 401k issue?
The solution is an electronic record-keeping technology that allows you, when you move from job A to job B,
like an instant rollover?
You can instant rollover, and you are encouraged to the benefits of rolling over your account to your next job.
Do you have to opt out of rolling over? Because to me, it's like what so many people do, including what I did when I first started, is you just take whatever's given to you. And if you are opted into the 401k plan, you end up doing that. It's a lot tougher choice if you have to physically make that decision yourself.
Yeah, well, see, the way that companies don't want to deal with small dollar accounts. You've been at a company, you got $2,500 in your 401k.
Right.
They want to get rid. They don't want to manage it.
Right.
So what happens is you call a guy and say, look, when you go to your next job, we'll roll it over, but if you want to take it.
You can just take it and take the big hit.
You know what most people do, particularly minority Americans?
The 2,000 versus
they take the $2,500.
Or and the 2,000 after the fees.
Yeah, after the fees and then the taxes.
Right.
And so the end result is this hundreds of millions, billions of dollars of leakage for the whole country is going out. A simple regulation, no congressional action required, a simple regulation at labor puts that money back in people's pockets. So, now, if President Trump, and in fact, I saw him last week down in Florida. I live down in Florida. I saw him at Trump golf course. Talked to him about it. And today, I'm having conversations with people at the highest level of the Trump administration about another thing which I think will help is saving black banks. Black banks are going out of business, unable to serve the communities where they were.
Let's revisit this. But so you're on the record saying you don't think, you've known Trump, you don't think he's a racist, and you think that he wants to help. You don't think he's racist.
No, I don't think he's racist.
And wants to help African Americans. Okay, so does that answer the Charlottesville question for you?
Yeah.
So, okay, now we're back to the dishonest business person. So a racist, dishonest business person is what we're dealing with.
If a guy tells me, president, corporate head, and I've dealt with a lot of corporate heads, and and they may not have many black friends or whatever, but if I go to them and say, hey, look, I got an idea that will help the black community, and they say, gee, I'd like to be a part of it. The perfect example for me was John Malone.
Right.
John Malone, I went to John Malone with an idea that was strictly aimed at African Americans, had nothing to do with the majority population, black entertainment television. John Malone, in about a 30-minute conversation, put $500,000 into BET. And out of that grew the $4 billion BET company.
Money's not, it's not white or black. It's green, right? Money's green. It
impacted a lot of African American talent.
And you did well, and you built an empire, and you continue to American success story, and
Yeah. To me, if you can make it work with the idea you keep emotions out of it. I'm not a social activist. I'm not a religious leader. I'm an entrepreneur. And as an entrepreneur, I look for opportunities with people who have a belief.
Well, and you're a man that obviously doesn't care if you're going to take a lot of flack, because I know you get a lot of flack. And I don't know if it's worth. I don't know. It'd be easier just to go with the flow.
Yeah, I've never done that.
You've never done
that.
No, I don't.
That's why I come on your shows.
Yeah, that's why I got $10 billion. Anyway.
Okay, so you see right here where he came in and he spoke about Trump, and he was just saying, look, man, if it's gonna benefit black people, I work with them. See, this is the reason. This is, to me, one of the main reasons I think Bob Johnson is Bob Johnson. It's because he doesn't give a fuck about your feelings or emotions. It's about what can you do for black people. He said that. He said, if they can benefit black people, if it can benefit black people, I'll do business with them. See, these white liberals want to use us, man. They want to use black people. And they don't like the fact that a black man who's worth billions is actually sitting out here saying, I don't give a damn who it is. I'll work with them. Long as they work, long as it benefits black people, which is what he said. So speed up, fast forward a year, they asked him again. He basically said, I don't support any of these guys that are in the field right now. They haven't impressed me. Trump is doing fine on the economy. Of course, that depends on who you ask. Everybody, some people think it's horrible. Some people think it's fine. I think it's fine, but what do I know, right? So as time goes on, now people are starting to dog out Bob Johnson and say, hey, man, you founded BET. And then there's the infamous BET Boondocks episode. Check this out.
Welcome to BET headquarters. I'm Deborah Leavell. It's 2 p.m., so it's time for a morning staff meeting. Our leader, Bob Johnson, had a dream of creating a network that would accomplish what hundreds of years of slavery, Jim Crow, and malt liquor couldn't. The destruction of black people! Is that so hard?
Mrs. Leavell, since BET came into existence, terrible things have happened to black people. Dropout rates, teen pregnancy, unemployment, and incarceration have skyrocketed since our debut 25 years ago. We really believe we're making a difference.
The destruction of black people is not happening fast enough! The other day I saw 3 niggas reading books. One of them was smiling. Yes.
He will die.
No, I'll have to call him back. Oh, and I need another math guy. You know, the dude with the charts and shit.
He did.
Yeah, him. I need another one. Yeah, and a cleanup crew. Oh, and another shoe. Left. No, Prada. What's you rattling, my Harvard-educated president of entertainment? Tell me about the evil shows you have in development.
Tell it, brother.
Mistress Level, my Harvard education tells us that our goal is to take all the shitty reality shows MTV did 5 years ago and make them black. Anyone who wants to see a shitty black version of an MTV reality show, well, they'll have to come to us.
What else?
Next month, we're gonna have our first award show honoring video hosts, or as I like to call it, a award show.
Right. I don't get it.
Must be some of that Harvard humor.
Personnel! How are we f***ing up niggas' money?
Well, let's see. As you've requested, nobody outside this room has been paid for months.
And you fired everyone that could read. I love it! Okay, and public relations?
Mistress Lever, we got one thing to report, alright? Some little nigga named Huey Freeman. Apparently he all critical of the network and talking about he's starting a hunger strike.
Why? What did we ever do to him except try to destroy black people? What's the problem?
This hunger strike will continue until BET is taken off the air, the office is shut down, and all its top executives commit Japanese ritual suicide.
He's just a kid. No one can stand in my way of destroying black people. Especially not Huey Freeman.
Everyone, it's Thursday, so it's time for our Monday staff meeting. My name is Wedgie Rudlin, and I'm the new super-duper smart Harvard-educated president of entertainment at BET.
Yep.
Do you know why I was given this job?
Because you're super-duper smart.
Yes, but why?
Because you went to Harvard.
Yes.
Yep.
But why would they want a super-duper smart guy who went to Harvard to run BET?
I know.
Because it's time to take BET in a new direction.
Right on, Wedgie.
Remember the first day I showed up, I asked, what's our highest rated program? And you guys said...
106 in Park with AJ and Free.
Yes.
Yep.
And I said, great, fire them. Why? Because what you call success, Wedgie Rudlin calls failure. And vice versa. See, when people ask me, have I made BET a success, I say no. It's time to redefine success. Because once you embrace failure, you can't go anywhere else but up. That's a business theory they taught me at Harvard. It's called negative elevation. Now, I know I may be going a little too fast for some of you, but I'm happy to slow it down. Are there any questions?
Is it true that you put a ban on 2- and 3-syllable words, man?
Good question. Yes. Our research says we need to be focusing on the monosyllabic demographic. I believe lots of syllables confuses our viewers, especially those in the South.
I got a question.
Of course you do. You didn't go to Harvard.
Do you have any experience running a network?
Okay, see now? You're a hater. You're fired, so get on out of here.
But I haven't been paid in 3 months. This is basically volunteer work for me.
Oh, well, quiet down so the rest of us who are getting paid can work. Thank you.
You're the Harvard man.
Okay, I would like everyone to please look under their chairs. You will find a copy of the Black Panther comic book that I wrote. Please read it carefully. This is the kind of super cool stuff we'll be doing at BET from now on.
Chicken?
Yep.
Are you kidding me?
That's your complimentary lunch. And the orange is your new healthcare plan. Antioxidants. Very important. Wait. Nope, you don't get any. You were fired. Okay, let's talk about some new shows. As you know, we're starting BET Animation. Here's what I want to see. I'm thinking rappers, young MC roller skating, edginess. He's going too fast. His brakes don't work. We'll get Tone Loc to do the voice. Okay, How about an animated version of Hamburglar? He's a hungry thug. It's gritty like The Wire. He does a drive-by on Burger King. McDonald's can co-finance. We'll call it Beef. Wait a minute. I'm seeing a Flintstones thing happening here. Dino could be a Rottweiler, maybe a pit bull. Instead of Bedrock, we're in Africa. We're keeping it real. You got that?
Got it, Wedgie.
All right. Next up, reality. The Ruckus reality show. I'm digging it. I'm feeling it. It's what's good. Let's do that show.
Wait a minute. Is this the show about the black man who hates black people?
I hear that tone. The head of Viacom personally asked me to make this show.
He was being sarcastic.
Oh, excuse me? Which one of us went to Harvard, huh? Did you go to Harvard? You think you understand white humor more than me? You know what? Shush. You don't even work here anymore. Now, the rest of you, get a crew. Get out to Woodcrest or wherever that guy's from, and let's make the Uncle Ruckus show happen.
Okay, that was the most funniest. That shit was funny as hell, boy. How are we fucking up niggas' money? But that shit was funny. Boy, I was laughing my ass off every time I be watching that. That's the one show that will get a laugh out of me. Like, they'll have comedic shows, but that's the one show where I really will bust out laughing while I'm watching it. The damn Boondocks. It's funny, and I'll be glad to see it when they about to bring it back. But let me say this, man. Um, you guys are wrong about Bob Johnson, and I think where people are kind of getting away from it, it's two things I think that Bob Johnson had a dilemma with. First of all, you have to kind of. It's one thing to make a show. That's like right now, right? If I got new students in my class, I'm teaching a class, right? I can't go into my class and start talking about SSIS data sources and reports and ETL and stuff and all that when they don't even know what a damn select statement is. You know what I'm saying? So I got to start where they are. You know what I'm saying? When BET first came out in the 80s, I never forget, they used to play, I remember they used to come on, they weren't even on the whole day. And I remember they was playing Candy Girls. I used to be staying up watching, waiting for the video. Me and my sister, we was little kids. We would sit around and wait for that video to come on so we could see Candy Girl with New Edition because it wasn't on MTV. So a lot of the shit that we saw back in the day, you know what I'm saying, Shalimar videos and stuff, was BET, right? BET was the only place where you could get these black videos seen. That's why a lot of old 80s stars don't have music videos for their songs. And if they do, it's just a performance that was recorded. That's just real, right? Because this was around the time Prince and Mike was starting to break into MTV, and they were the first ones to get on it, right? MTV. And then when they got on, Janet came. And when Janet hit, it bust the floodgates open for a lot of black artists. You know what I'm saying? That was started to get on there. They started to show black artists. But if you go back and you remember, there were shows on BET where guys were debating political issues, where they would have conservatives and Republicans, and they would be, of course, it would be Democrat leaning, of course, because it's a black, they're not going to show it even. And they don't want you, thinking a certain way, so they want to make sure you're a Democrat. But the point, the point was, they would have shows where people actually would debate issues. They would have shows like Teen Summit where kids would have on Saturday mornings, because they used to show the Jacksons cartoons, stuff like that. They used to show Fat Albert cartoons on Saturday mornings and stuff like that. They used to show all that. And then after that, they would have Teen Summit would come on at 11 o'clock, East Central Standard Time, right? Which was 11 our time, right? 12 Eastern Time. But anyway, it would come on and they would have Sherry Carter. And she would be on there and she would be talking to all these teenagers about drugs, about drinking, about dating, about sexually transmitted diseases, about peer pressure. Every day, every time they had an episode, it would be a themed show based on a particular subject. And the kids would be on there talking about certain issues. In fact, that's what Prince DeJour, which you guys probably don't remember him, Prince DeJour was on Teen Summit as a teenager. He grew up on that show, right? And these kids would be on this show, and this was based right out of BET, right out of Washington, D.C., because I remember thinking, damn, D.C. is a nice place. This is how I found out about D.C. Because I remember a lot of the shows and the places, things they would do, they'll go out in D.C. I'm like, damn, it's a black city. That's how I found out about go-go music. Because I remember Chuck Brown did Bustin' Loose. I didn't know nothing about go-go. My brother mentioned it when he got out the Marines because he was stationed up there. He used to love go-go. He would come back bumping it. And I thought it was weird. And then they had Doing the Butt, EU, and all that came out. And that's how I got acclimated to go-go music. Was BET was based in D.C. And every once in a while they would show a go-go song or video. I'd be like, oh, so this is go-go music. You know what I'm saying? And I got into it. Then I got into Caribbean rhythms. These are, take in mind, at the time, hip-hop and a lot of these groups were black independent record labels. These were black people because at the time, white Jews they didn't think that our music could really be sold to the masses. Like, for example, go-go music. Go-go music could be way bigger than what it is. But nobody really bumps go-go music like they should. They don't respect go-go music. You see what I'm saying? So it hasn't really taken off. It's just a thing that's real popular around the DMV, but unless you're a traveling person and been up there and know, or you just in the know, you wouldn't know nothing about go-go music. Chuck Brown, Chop Barbecue. You know what I'm saying? I love that song. But the thing is, man, like these people would get off and do a lot. They would have a lot of great shows, and then something happened. Let me talk about Rap City. I remember Rap City. They had their first guy, the mayor, Chris Thomas. He was a comedian, and he used to do that one shoulder bounce thing, and he would be up there and he would introduce people. It was old, cheap, low budget, place studio. You could tell, but he would interview all the rappers. Now this is back when everybody was wearing the African medallions and doing the kick steps and wearing the high top fades, and everybody was trying to be a gang member back then. See what I'm saying? So what happened was a lot of the music that you saw on BET was positive. It was influential, and this was to me what I think is the golden era of R&B music. You see, because you got to understand R&B music had its place in the industry, but it to me, I think it was being outshone by what would later become pop music, and disco kind of did its thing. But right after that, hip hop rap started taking off, and then R&B had its golden era. And I think the golden era of R&B was when they had Donnie Simpson interviewing people every night on the couch. And Donnie Simpson would sit there and interview people. These people would sell 2 and 3 million CD, tapes of whatever records or whatever you called them back then. They would sell them because everybody black that was in the black community didn't have all these internet things and stuff like that. So they had to come to the television screen. That was that was it. And if you really wanted to know about good music back then, like Jodeci and Shy and Vogue and all this different ex girlfriend and Jomanda and little obscure one hit wonders that y'all ain't never heard, shit that I used to hear on the jukebox. You remember jukebox? They play a video for $1.50, right? The reason we would play these videos is because these people would have been interviewed on these people would have been interviewed on Rap City, and you would see that these people are at a point financially where they can kind of well, I mean, not at a point financially, but these people would be big. Like Luke never got interviewed on there, but come on, Pop That Coochie was the song. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Band in the USA, all that. These songs were big. King of the Ghetto. These were major songs to us. Southern hip hop wasn't respected. So you had guys like Luke, all this different stuff. The Miami bass sound with DJ Magic Mike. Yeah, people up north don't know shit about this. But this is an era of hip hop where, in the South, like it wasn't then for me back then. It was cool. You go to a party at somebody's house. Everybody would be grinding up on each other, dancing. I come in that bitch with a shirt on and a jacket. It get hot, you know what I'm saying? You pull your jacket off. Next thing you know, you sweating, you pulling your shirt off. You in that bitch with a wife beater on, grinding up on a chick with juke cologne on. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just good times. You know what I'm saying? Your dick raw hard because you dancing, you getting it in, you having a good time. And I remember those days, man. But one of the central, I think, figures in our community at that time was BET. I think BET provided a lot of good, positive programming at the time. I think the reason that R&B music has died and is dying, and it pretty much has died because we is real filtered right now. That's why you got all these light skinned artists right now that's out. Because and Matthew Knowles talked about colorism. Go back and look at uh, the '80s. Go look at who Cheryl Lynn encore video. She got a video for that song. Go listen to that song. Go look at the video. Go look at Anita Baker. Go look at Evelyn Champagne King. Half the music we listened to back then, we weren't really big in the music videos yet in the mid '80s. So a lot of this music that we heard was just what it sounded like. What was the sound? Cheryl Lynn wouldn't be able to sell no record today. I ain't trying to be foul. Love her music, but she was heavy set, dark skinned black woman. you know. But even back in the era when video soul started coming out, they would interview dark skinned black heavy set black whatever and they still would sell records, still would sell tapes, whatever you called it. See what I'm saying? People still going to Music Land and shit in the mall and buying music and stuff and buying singles and shit for $3.49 because it was the thing to do. So, what I think happened, man, was, Bob Johnson had to make a profit. It was a business. Black people, we want people to run businesses as like a community service, but we don't want to support them a lot of times. Then we'll talk shit when people have to sell their shit, right? So Bob Johnson in the mid 90s had to change his business model. And I can't really blame Bob Johnson. You know why? Same reason when I went live this morning, I was talking about it. If I were to make a video right now talking about how to make money, how to do something, it would probably struggle to get 200 views. But if I were to make a video talking about how fucked up black women are or dating or some shit, this shit would get 300-400 views, man. You know what I'm saying? Probably more than that, probably 500, 600, 1,000. If I make a video about Sierra, it's going to damn near get 5,000 views. Why is that? Niggas like to be entertained, man. That's it, man. We like to be entertained. We don't like to actually get out here and produce or do something productive. You see what I'm saying? And so he ran into a certain point where he probably knew 3-4 years, if he's a smart, savvy businessman, which he apparently is, or he would be what he is, he probably knew back in 92 that he probably was going to have to sell that damn BET. So when he sold it around 2000, everybody talked shit. Oh, nigga, why'd you do Hell Day? Why did you do College Hill? Why did you do? Because at the end of the day, BET was about making money. And y'all niggas love shit like that. Let's go ahead and go down that road. Because although they were joking on the Boondocks, they weren't really being fair. He had to sell the shit. So he had to get his ratings up. He had to get the shit up. So he can't have a political show with Ed Gordon debating black politics, or he can't have a coverage of the Million Man March or some shit like he did in 95. You can't do that. See, everybody talking about, why didn't they cover the 20-year anniversary of the Million Man March? The reason they didn't cover it was because, well, now this shit owned by Viacom, so of course they're not gonna cover some shit that's gonna empower your ass. Come on, black people. You're not gonna get empowered by your oppressor's money with your oppressor. That's not gonna happen. So stop it, right? But this is the thing. Like, I look at it and I'm like, people be shitting on Bob Johnson. I'm like, I respect the hell out of Bob Johnson. I respect the hell out of the man. The man had to get the shit ready to sell. So he went and started putting shit on there, that nigga shit that he himself probably wouldn't fuck with. You could tell in the 80s he probably had his heart more into it. He was doing Teen Summit. When they took Teen Summit off, I knew then. I said, man, this shit, it's a down. They must be finna sell this shit. Who the hell would take Teen Summit off? You know what I'm saying? You got to invest in your youth. When you see that, you knew it was a business decision. And what happened as soon as they sold BET? Because he did, what did he do? He did 106 in Park. He went and got Free with her fine ass. Free and AJ, and it was 106 in Park. They were doing countdown, stuff like that. You could actually interact with the artist. They got rid of Video Soul, which was an iconic classic. Then they fucked around and got rid of Midnight Love. That's when I knew. I said, man, it's over for BET. You know what I'm saying? When you get rid of, they got rid of Midnight Love after the fact, after they sold it. But the point I'm trying to make is, man, I don't know when he sold it, but I know it's early 2000s or close to mid 2000s, somewhere in there he sold it. And I'm gonna tell you guys, man, I really can't blame the guy, man. So he got that nigga shit on there so he can sell it. And the best way to get you niggas to support something is put some stupid, counterintuitive, bad for the black community type shit on television. And that's what niggas will watch. That's what we want to support. That's what we love. Nigga shit. Right now, Mona Scott, much as I know she's Haitian, she's not even ADOS, but half the shit she put on television right now, like all that shit I was talking about with April Jones and Lil Fizz from B2K, they got Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. They told me they weren't gonna be back on there. They back on the show. Why is that? Fuckery sells, and a lot of niggas is gonna go watch that bullshit. It's just like World Star Hip Hop. World Star Hip Hop is like the top 20 watched website in the world. 90% of the shit that's on there is from us, African Americans, black women primarily, our black women in the street fighting and turning like wild animals. I'm just gonna call it like it is. This is the shit that we need to really kind of, own up to, but also be able to understand that black folks, man, y'all, it's funny how he had to sell that shit. I know in my heart, I'm like, Bob Johnson put that shit on BET, College Hill, and all the shit that they was joking about in Boondocks because they sold it. And when they said he had a founder to destroy the black community, they was trying to be funny. He wasn't trying to destroy the black community when he founded BET. He wasn't. What happened? Who was really trying to destroy the black community? We were. Black people. Because if we weren't, the boring shit is really what's probably best for us. One of the ideas I see for a television show would be just a show where you go around the country and you talk to black businessmen and women who are successful and let them tell their stories and what they did and how they did it. That would be great television. But guess what? How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that when you can't get, you know what I'm saying, when that shit probably won't even get no good ratings? But you put a show with a woman up there, two women fighting and throwing drinks in their face, and that shit will break records. You see what I'm saying? So I ain't even, like right now they're talking about BET is going to got a streaming service and they about to change the format. It's white owned. You know what I'm saying? Tyler Perry's doing this thing. I ain't knocking Tyler Perry, but I'm just saying this shit white owned, man. Like, it's only going to go so far. That's why you got a Black Girls Rock. That's why they do Black Girls. Why you think they started doing Black Girls Rock when they sold it? Because them motherfuckers know what they doing. They know specifically it's slick. It's ingenious the way they got shit structured at BET right now. It is a tool of destruction. But I don't blame Bob Johnson. I think at the end, he had to put that fuck shit on there to sell it. That's really what I believe. Y'all be good, man.
Hey, yo, man, can we see the mics, man? 1, 2, 1, 2, and I say
100% method woman. You are. But you don't hear me though. 1, 2, 1, 2, mic check. Stare at my kids and I recollect. Mama used to say, treat a woman with respect, baby. Cool like that, you know what I mean. Sitting at the table playing Alvarine, can't fade it. Her and dad made it. They were from the old school. Now if I'm away from you for a moment, my life is in a rut. I don't understand how an argument can make a man smack his lady up. No. So I check myself, don't wanna wreck myself or wreck this beautiful dream. Feel like I feel and you know that it's real. Everybody scream. Tick tock, you don't stop. Let me feel your body rock. Don't method woman. 100% method.